back at TD Garden, where the Boston Celtics just dropped their second loss of the regular season, 93-90 against the Orlando Magic. And this report is brought to you by 1in100. Head over to 1in100.co, where you can enter your name into a raffle to win tickets to World Series baseball. That's right. Boston Red Sox are, of course, hosting the World Series. You can win tickets for a Red Sox game. You can also win tickets for a future Celtics game and also other concert events going on in the city. That's 1in100.co. Gentlemen,
go team.
What went wrong? Jimmy, let's start with you. I want to hear what you have to say because Jimmy's always so critical when it comes to the Celtics. So I can't imagine seeing them lose against the lowly Orlando Magic has got you feeling some type of way.
Yeah, it does, actually. So, I mean, it comes down to hitting shots, right? And these guys, for whatever reason tonight, nobody could hit a shot tonight. It didn't matter, young guys, old guys, but I have to say, the young guys disappointed me tonight more than the old guys did because a lot of times you'll get Tatum coming through, you'll get Rozier coming through, you'll get Brown coming through. Those guys are MIA tonight when the veterans, I'll give Kyrie his due. I think he put in a strong second half after bit of a no-show in the first half. But Hayward continues to sort of ease his way back into things. He can't really be relied upon yet. You need the young guys to come through, those young legs to come through early on, and at least give the Celtics a little cushion. They never led in this game, not once. So they're consistently playing from behind. They could never get that momentum going. In the fourth quarter, too little, too late. You're going to scratch and claw your way in the final minute.
Against the Orlando Magic.
You deserve to lose that game.
Yeah, and not to mention the BWA did not really show up tonight. The bench was not.
It was the MIA.
It was the the WTF MIA. That's exactly what
I'm surprised you didn't think of that. I'm surprised you didn't have that in like your back pocket to use throughout the entire season. Because you hate the whole BWA thing.
I don't hate it. I just think it's nights like tonight.
Come on, it can't be bad.
That ask
you hate
to
BWA.
bust them. No, because like.
Well, you can't rely on the bench every night though. You're starters.
I'm not saying rely on the bench, but geez,
you get one of the best starting units. We talked about it. They have one of the best starting units in the NBA, and they go in there. They put up 90 points, 22.5% from the three-point line. These guys. I think they've hit 3 3-pointers all year through 4 games. I don't know what's going on with the outside shooting.
Well, Brad Stevens did say after the game that offensively this is the best they've seen
garbage
throughout the regular season.
Are
you not believing that?
No,
are you saying that they didn't get the great looks that Kyrie Irving said the same thing in the locker room? Kyrie Irving said, look, he got open looks.
What did Al Horford say?
A lot of guys got open looks, and they just didn't knock him down.
What did Al Horford say?
Al Horford didn't agree with the head coach.
I understand what Brad is saying. He's saying, okay, the plays worked out, the shots were there, and they just didn't fall. Fine, but the shot's got to fall. Don't tell me you had your best offensive night and you scored 93 points against a Magic team that has no business being in the playoffs. You're supposed to average probably 110 points a game.
This is probably, if you think about it, really their 3rd consecutive loss because they shouldn't have won in New York. That was another
like
We're
going to give them a loss, actually. Yeah, we're going to
give them a 3
consecutive
1-3 loss.
1-3. 1-3 in the early season.
A pathetic display in front of the most overrated franchises in NBA history, the New York Knicks. That was sad.
You know what? They didn't look good opening night, so they're actually 0-4. They're 0-4.
No, they look good opening night.
Yeah, all right, we'll give them 1-3 though.
But that makes my prediction correct. Cause I think I said they'll start 1-3.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's talk about the defense here because let's face it, the Orlando Magic. I mean, offensively, they finished at the bottom half of the NBA last season. They had 75 points through the first 3 quarters. I mean, granted, the Celtics did manage to keep them under 100 points, but still, I mean, you give up 75 points through 3 quarters against the Magic. That's got to be a bit alarming, no?
Yeah, I mean, I think the defense. But I also think that's part of chemistry, and this team clearly does not have chemistry on offense or defense yet. They're not talking, they're not moving. I mean, and back to the open shots, you could get. Listen, what are they here? 22% from 3-point territory.
I love you two both have your stat sheets up because it's just so alarming that you guys have to refer to it.
Alarming.
There's a lot to talk about.
This
I get
is alarming. I mean, I'm not concerned. I'm not nervous about this, but it is alarming. It's kind of embarrassing.
Well, I thought, going back to your point, not to jump all over the map here, but we were talking about defense there.
That's what we do.
I do think that they did look a little bit overmatched, especially down low. I thought that the Celtics looked a little bit timid, and it might have been because Baines wasn't in the lineup tonight. When you had, Jonathan Isaac all over the freaking floor.
Come on.
Throwing down dunks, outside, inside, and it looked like the Celtics were caught watching a couple of times. I saw a lot of putbacks where they're just kind of standing there waiting for somebody else to make the move, and it really came back to hurt them.
Tice looks rusty.
He did look rusty, but he did get a lot of minutes.
Daniel,
you haven't seen him. You haven't seen him play a lot throughout the season. This is the most he's played.
Well, it's only been 4 games.
The first 4 games. That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
No, you're right.
Well, all right, one last thing I wanted to bring up is what Kyrie Irving also had to say about the fact that a lot of these young guys, which, Jimmy, you just alluded to not too long ago, they're just not used to having this target on their back, right? I mean, last season, after Gordon Hayward went down, they weren't the #1 team to beat in the East. Now they are. Now teams like the Orlando Magic, the New York Knicks, the, bottom feeders, if you will, of the Eastern Conference, they're coming at you, and this is like an NBA Finals game in their eyes. How much
Right,
does
I
that
mean,
play a part in terms of
big part.
the youngsters
I think-
not performing or not coming to play in the fourth quarter when their team need them most?
I think it's a little bit of a factor because when you think about it, last year the Celtics thrived off being the underdog. When Hayward went down, immediately they were underdog, and then when Kyrie went down, they were completely written off. So the young guys were able to sort of feed off that, and they went all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals with it. They should have went to the NBA Finals. We won't talk about that, but now it's like they've got that target on their back night in, night out, and Kyrie Irving says it's so hard to bring that same energy every single game. But in the NBA, if you want to end up in the NBA Finals, you do have to bring that.
Right, because Kyrie Irving, of course, knows
So they're learning the
that's
hard
like.
way.
I mean, Kyrie Irving has been to so many NBA Finals that he knows every single year
Sure.
that he pretty much had that target on his back. Back in his days with the Cleveland Cavaliers. One last thing, guys. Terry Rozier, he only played, 15, 16 minutes tonight? Is that a concern? The Brad Stevens should have given more minutes?
No, I think more of a concern is 2 of 7?
2 of 9, I think.
2
But
of
no,
9?
The problem is, listen, we know this is going to happen. There are going to be games where some guys get more playing time than others. There's too many cooks in the kitchen sometimes, and tonight it was Rozier. Now, my only issue with that is that he needs to play in order to get that hot hand. So you don't see him much in the second half. Now you can't really rely on him to come in the fourth quarter and drain shots.
Let us know what you think. Hit us up in the comment section. As usual, YouTube, Garden Report, CLNS Media, coming at you from TD Garden.